They go, well, yeah, we got some bad news there. We reviewed the special again. We'd like to take out the Muslim joke. I got a big joke about Muslims. And I go, oh, why? And they go, well, last time a comic did a Muslim joke, we got bomb threats, we got death threats. I go, well, I like the joke. It kills. It's a hot joke. And, you know, no one touches Muzz.
It used to be transgender people. Now it's Muslims, apparently. You can make jokes about anything else except Muslims in this country. That was comedian Mark Norman claiming that Netflix wanted all Muslim jokes taken out of his Netflix special, but he could do jokes about Jews and Catholics and white people and black people, gay people, disabled people, just no Muslim jokes. Actor and comedian Rob Schneider has been a critic of this kind of thing for a long time. Rob, good to have you back. And don't you think that maybe it's a little bit ironic that we don't want them comedians making jokes about radical Islam because we're afraid that radical Islamists will blow us up? That's what this is about.
Well, it's Islamophobia seems to be a rational fear of people who are likely to kill you. So I think it's a rational. I think you know, it is something that the streaming service said we'll have any other joke, but we can't have that. Because there's a genuine rational fear that these people are likely to and have in the past killed people for things like
a long track record of doing
about
so.
the Muhammad. Yeah, just ask the author of the Satanic Verses to see how long the grudge against them they had. I mean, I think the Ayatollah had it in 1979 or 1980. Put out a fatwa on him. I know. And
you think Charlie Hebdo, right?
And Charlie Hebdo, they killed
serious.
everybody in Paris that wrote the comedic the cartoon that featured Muhammad. So I think like you can see it. There's a certain, I wouldn't say cowardice. I would say a certain rational fear of the reality that these are, you know. And Mark Norman said. He said, well, I want you to admit to me that the reason you're doing it is because these people are violent. Just admit that. And they're like, we're not going to.
Right, right.
I want you to admit it.
That's what it's about. They don't want like threats to Netflix, you know, corporate headquarters. That's what it's about. And it reminds me, it was 3 years ago. It was Dave Chappelle, that special on Netflix, where they didn't want him talking about trans people. He talked about trans people, and it's still the #1 comedy special in Netflix history. So all of a sudden, comedians can start making jokes about trans people. Now it's Muslims, but it's for a really dark reason, and nobody wants to talk about that.
No, there should be no off limits for any humor. But I think it's a bigger sign that culturally, the West is fearful of these people, and we give in to that sort of. It's a terrorism. Is really what it is. So you got to give into it, otherwise we will hurt you. And we will make it difficult. That's why, you know, you have the South Park that made a career after making a Jesus versus Santa Claus cartoon, and you know nobody threatened to blow them up. They were never told by Comedy Central that they couldn't make fun of Jesus. So you have a kind of a red line in the sand, and it's for these people who, you know, who will get violent and do violent things for their religion. So I think that the culture has to recognize that this is something that is real, and there's something we should not be putting up with. And that's why.
And they have done violent things, and that's such a good point, for their religion. That's the difference. And they made, in South Park, that was 25 years ago, right? They made fun of Jesus and Muhammad, right?
Well, yes. Well, no.
Made it.
They didn't make fun of Muhammad.
Oh, they didn't make fun of Muhammad. So there you go. My point exactly.
Jesus versus Santa Claus. Those two were run after. But you have an ideology that's a political organization in the guise of a religion that will use anything to gain power, and it is. And it's if you just take a look at the countries that used to be Christian, and you just go look at Jordan, Algeria, Egypt, Lebanon, and you go down the list, Iraq, and these are places that used to be Christian nations.
And known for their comedy, I might add. Known for their comedy. No, but comedians are supposed to be like cultural court jesters. It's always been that way. Let me play you the joke that apparently was too much for Netflix to bear. Take a look.
One of my friends, she's a teenage daughter. She's like, ugh, she's going through all these phases. First, she went through a promiscuous pothead phase. Now she's going through a Muslim phase. But you think she'll stop smoking weed? I was like, well, she is a Muslim woman. She could still get stoned. Muslim joke.
All right, so we had to edit out some of the stuff in the middle, but back to the nightclubs in Iraq. They were good. Did you ever play those?
No, I haven't.
Just kidding.
I'm sure. Well, we have a free culture here, and what happens is, in any free culture, you are susceptible to people to come in with bad faith actors that are not going to come in and play by the rules.
Yeah.
They're going to come in and try to change things, and this. Unfortunately, our culture is one of those free places that are susceptible to people coming in as what we call bad faith actors who don't come in with the and to go with the rules. And Sharia law is completely incompatible with our Constitution.
Yeah, just the way that we live Western civilization. And Rob, I want to have you back. This is it's an important topic because all of a sudden comedians are being told that they can't make fun of a certain group, but they can make fun of everybody else. And it's antithetical to doing comedy. Rob will be at Giggles in Iraq on Saturday. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Rob Schneider, good to see you, my friend. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you,
Thank
Rob.
you.
Hang in there.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.